inside a well, life can get tangled. Might the money. Might the money. Might the money. I'm making money, Mike the.
This podcast or broadcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal, health, tax, or professional advice. Always consult a licensed professional for specific advice related to your situation. Thank you.
Welcome back to Mic'd Up Money, where we just don't talk about making money, we talk about keeping it, scaling it, and making it work for you while you're asleep. Today's episode is for every entrepreneur, hustler, and business owner who feels busy but is not profitable. And I am so excited because we have our special guest from last week, Leah Williamson here. Hey, Leah.
Hey, y'all. I'm super happy to be back. Thank you for having me.
And we also have our profitability strategist. I said expert, but it's strategist here, Ephraim. Hey, Ephraim.
Hello. Mic'd up.
We're here to get mic'd up for sure. So for business owners, we want you to know that you don't need to work harder. You just need better systems. And we're talking about automation, AI, and numbers. And why Google could no longer be a possibility for you. If your business still runs on sticky notes or just knowing your customers, this episode is how you can make your business run smoother. So let's talk about segment 1. In this first segment, we're going to talk about how AI and Google decides who win if you do not automate. So our first talking point is going to be sales and follow-ups. How does automation of sales and follow-ups help your business? And this is for both of y'all.
Well, the most underappreciated and underused analytic is who is the customer and why are they buying from you.
Right.
And, because right now I'm doing the analytics for our social media platform. And, on this platform, TikTok, men like to look at Mic'd Up Money more so than women.
Oh, okay.
To go to Facebook, women like to look at Mic'd Up Money more than men. Mm-hmm. So if you know what segment is looking at you and you are seeing what the particular segment likes to hear from Mic'd Up Money, it will help you to make better shows. Then you get better response. Then you get better viewership. But a lot of times people have customers, they don't even ask you any information. It's like you go to a food truck and some of them don't even ask you what's your zip code, what's your email address, because basically it's a transactional event for them. They don't want you as a customer, they just want you to get them some money for that day.
So how is Mic'd Up Money then trying to follow up with these men or women on either of the social media sites? Like if they reach out to us, how do we best follow up through emails, calls, text messages, and all of that?
Well, one thing about building a brand is, we haven't asked people to make comments yet on any of our postings. We just get into initial analytics. And it's really important because once you start doing that, you know what questions to ask and what way to ask it so that we can make sure that we get that engagement that we want to do. But the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of businesses take all that for granted and they don't ask anything about their customers. And so therefore that's the thing that makes them maybe not be successful because they don't have the knowledge behind the action.
I also think a lot of businesses don't know what to do, even if they do get follow-ups. Even if people ask them questions or they are interacting with you, now what? Like, what do you do now? And for me, that's where automations come into play. And then some people don't have all day to sit and watch social media and immediately respond. But you can put systems into play where it'll respond for you. You can also put systems into play if someone clicks on your video or goes to your website. You have pop-ups that come and say, hey, you want to keep in touch, put this information in. If they fill out a form, the first thing that I ask people is, how did you hear about me? Where did you see my information? So automation can be your friend when it comes to sales and follow us because it helps you organize and it helps you, like to your point, know who your ideal client is, who's watching you, who's purchasing from you. So you have to know what to do when you do get that interaction.
I totally agree because like you were saying, the pop-ups. Like for me with my business, I use ManyChat, even though it gets annoying because some of my friends are on my business page, so they're like, "Oh, girl, I like that," and it's like, "Well, if you want a book," right. So it's like an automatic response. So ManyChat is a good tool that you can use to automatically respond to people that like your stories, that comment or just message you all around, and that can be applied to pretty much any platform that you use. And also with the posting, you can automate that. You can use Buffer for that. But I do have a question for the both of you. What is one task in your business that eats up most of your time each week that is not automated?
Well, for me, it's just conversations. You know, and a lot of times people get mad because I don't converse with them enough when they want me to converse with them. But I tell them I have a scheduling app. And if I have something that I'm doing the scheduling app, and it's not you, then you should give me the time to get back with you. Even if I put an auto response on my phone, I will call you back later. You know, some people continue to call because, you know, they want immediate attention, but they don't respect the scheduling app.
So it's the talking and the consulting with people that takes up most of the time. And that honestly makes sense because you don't need a robot on there asking people questions. You know, like, come on now. Some stuff got to be human. But what about you?
For me, it's creating content, right? And for what I do, I'm front heavy, meaning my job or my career is based on people getting to know me and seeing my face. So I don't want to use AI videos because I want to make it real. So you know what you're getting when you book a consultation. So making that content and making sure that it's informational and valuable and somebody's getting something from it, that takes a lot of work and people don't realize it. Just like y'all setting up this, it takes a lot of work. There's hours that goes in before you actually see the final product.
And I think both are valid because you don't want a computer talking to your customers because the computer always ain't going to be right, and it's not going to always say what you want to say, and it's not going to have the interpersonal connection that you want to have with that person. And then if you automate your social media, which I do that sometimes, I love Canva. Shout out to Canva. If you do that sometimes, then people are going to be like, okay, this is a bot, I'm not using them. So overall, AI can be a good thing, and it also could be a bad thing if you overuse it, is what I'm hearing. And yeah, so we're going to move into our next segment, Mike the Money. Welcome back to Mike the Money, where we're discussing automations in AI. And I have a few questions for y'all, and this is yes or no, So if your business shut down tomorrow, would it still run? With AI, do you have enough systems in place for your business still to run smoothly?
You always have redundancy in your business model just in case something does not work. And a lot of times people, go to a restaurant and power goes out. They have to stop because the cash register did not have a power source.
Right.
Okay, so you already have the orders prepared. People are here to pick them up, but you can't ring them up because you didn't have any redundancy.
So that restaurant or people that do not have that automated power source, they need to try to look and see, hey, if this happens, then what could happen that could affect my business? What is your perspective on it?
Yeah, I like to say to piggyback off of what you're saying, you need more than one point of failure. That's what I like to call it, right? Because you never know when something's going to go wrong. The biggest thing when everyone thought that like Facebook and Instagram and everything was shutting down, like, what are you going to do? Everybody's business is through social media, like posting pictures and talking to people on social media, but you don't control social media. If you get blocked out of your social media page, or if a hacker comes along, like, what is it that you're going to do? And to answer that question, I have a lot of processes, right? So it'll still run when I'm on vacation, and that is my goal. That's what I try to do, and I preach to my clients. And make sure that if you are not at work, your business still is, right? So a lot of my automation and AI stuff comes from the back end work. So clients will still get information. People can still request information. Designs can still get done because, of course, I have other people working as well, but that part has to, be human. But the back end part, the answering of emails, to making sure the invoices are sent out at a time, to make sure that people are getting notifications, to make sure that people's timelines are right, all of that is automated. And I think that it should be for everyone.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like, because you were saying, even if you went on vacation, your business is going to still run. Because I don't believe AI is replacing humans. I just think it's replacing wasted effort. And what I mean by that is, if you put a lot of effort into responding to every email, to every text, to every this, to every that, that's just something that a human can do, but also a computer can do. Then you're just wasting your time. You're not making any money, and it's just.
Hold on.
Here we go.
Okay, it depends on your client, because some of the old school clients, they want that personal touch, and they the ones with the money.
But everybody is not your client if that's the case, because if I can't automate my service to where it's gonna fit for you, you might want to find somebody that's gonna be a little bit more hands on. Am I right or am I wrong?
I think you're both right. And this is why I'm going to say that, because you have spoiled clients. You have clients that are used to doing things a certain type of way, but you also have to educate those clients, right? And that's where the automations and the AI come in. You have to show them that it's not that scary. And sometimes they don't even know that they're talking to AI or having some type of automation. But it's all about a learning curve, because technology changes, business changes, practices change. So we have to educate our clients, right? I get it. You being afraid to, or not wanting to disrupt the flow, but sometimes disruption is good. And if you lose a client or two, my motto is, I lost that client, and it wasn't because of something that I did, it's because something they did. I blame it on them. I'm just playing.
So you gotta make I would say you gotta do a way of a scale when it comes to those things.
Correct.
Now, because some other clients be sitting on some good money, so you might not want to X all them out. So, what would be the weight of the scale for y'all?
Well, I have a scheduling app.
Okay.
And I had this since I got fired from the schools, from the state of Tennessee. I had it for like 3 or 4 years. And I still have clients today who are good clients, but they just don't know or don't want to use that app.
Okay.
Boundaries. You have to set boundaries with your clients.
No, they pay me enough that my boundary is I'm gonna get paid.
See, that's where we're going to value, because you pay me a lot of money, you ain't gonna take up most of my time.
Correct. I agree with you. That's not how. That's how you deem your. I don't think about my value that way, and I don't think about it. Just because you pay me money doesn't mean that you run me. That's how I feel, and I have to train. You have to train people how to teach you or treat you.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. I'm gonna train you. 100%. I'm gonna train you how you treat me.
If you pay $25, you have no value as a customer. But if you pay $1,000, I'm gonna give you some value because you are a good customer.
I'm gonna give you value because you're my customer. Period. It's not based off of how much you pay me. It's based off of my output, because that mentality, in my opinion and in my experience with the clients that I have, they think that if I throw money at a situation, you're going to do what I want to do. That's why in the last segment you said that if you're on a phone call with a schedule, they don't care, because you have trained them not to care. You have trained them that I can throw this money at you and you're going to answer the phone. So be a good boy and answer the phone.
No, they don't work that way.
No, you
but that's how you explain it.
Because they might be a $25 client.
That's how you explain it, though, and I agree. You have to have boundaries as an entrepreneur, because if you don't, it can mess with your mindset, because then you're like, okay, I'm a slave to this client at this point. No, I ain't no slave. I work for myself, so I'm not going to sit up here and just jump when you say how. I'm not going to say how high when you say jump out because you done gave me $1,000. Especially, I ain't gonna lie, $1,000. That's a little low for me. You gotta pay me about $5,000, and then I say how, but still.
Well, some clients are on the retainer, and so if they're on the retainer, they get premium services.
That's
okay. Then some clients don't want to go to the app because they have to pay for access, and so I'm not going to reward them by calling me and you didn't book a consultation and you're not paying for access.
I understand that. But they just not gonna run me. That's all.
Hey, look, we gonna agree to disagree on this one, right? I love when we have these little bickerings on the show. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this segment where we're talking about how AI isn't replacing humans, it's replacing wasted effort and how AI can be leveraged. This is Mike the Money and we out. Welcome back to Mike the Money. We got a little spicy on the last, this thing. We ain't gonna talk about that too much, jumping for money and stuff. But anyway, we're gonna go into what numbers tell the story of your business. So your feelings about your business don't matter. Your numbers do. How do y'all feel about this statement?
Well, you have to kind of look at this. Like First of all, you got to have some numbers. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't have numbers. They're too transactional, and so they don't have any numbers on social demographics. They don't know why people do business with them. They don't know what makes them special, and so if you don't have anything to work with, you don't have anything to work with. When I told you about my McDonald's story, when they were stealing from them, selling special Sundays in the middle of the night, yes, and not selling food, but the food costs kept going up. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The report should have told them, why am I selling 20 Sundays an hour? And my food cost is going up because my ice cream not going up, my Big Macs and my buns and everything else is going up. Someone was stealing from them. Mm-hmm. But they never looked at the reports. You get reports, and a lot of people get reports from machines, and they don't know what they mean.
Mm. That's why it's important to set your own reports up to know what you actually need and to understand it. Because like you said, if you just get a spreadsheet and I don't understand what the numbers mean or what's on the spreadsheet, then it doesn't do you any good. And I'm a believer in having measurable data, right? Not just numbers, but measurable data. But I am an emotional being, so I'm not going to say that I 100% agree with this, that your feelings about your business don't matter, but I get the gist. I get where it's coming from, because you can believe that you are the best whatever in the world. That is your feelings. That is your opinion. That's how you feel about yourself, and that's good. You should have a high, grandiose idea of yourself. That's wonderful. But does your work prove it, right? Do you have something to back it up? So I agree with it, but I don't like it. Is that okay?
Well, I dealt with people. It's this one person was a premier cake baker. Mm-hmm. They can do the thing like Cake Boss can. Mm-hmm. My first thing once I started looking at the numbers is, hey, you're not charging enough for these cakes. Mm-hmm. Okay, why are you going to spend hours and hours and hours and you told them a set price, but you have no model on that particular model as far as how long is it going to take you.
Right.
So you get paid for the cake, but you're losing money. A lot of people lose money because they do not look at the numbers, and they don't do bookkeeping.
Are they losing money or are they losing time?
They're losing, your time is your money.
Not necessarily.
Oh, yes, it is.
Here we go.
Not necessarily.
Oh, yes, it is.
Not necessarily.
Let's hear why she said it. Let's hear.
Okay, I know what she's gonna say. Based upon my experience,
here we go.
Is on value-based billing, because I teach my grandbaby to charge by the project.
Okay.
It can take me 10 minutes, but I have made enough money for the whole day.
Correct.
Okay. It works when it works. But when it does not work, and you hit out all day making $25 or $200, and it then took you 2 days to make that money.
That's not a time management problem. That is a business model problem. You have a core problem. It's not your time management. It's how you built your business. If you are taking too much time to do something that does not give you enough money to make you feel valuable, then that is your core branding. You have a problem with your business model, not your time management.
No.
And you need to go reevaluate
Absolutely.
and talk to a strategist so they can help you
processes in place so that does not happen.
You do new stuff.
True,
and
but you test it.
No, you don't know how long it's going to take you.
You test it.
But you gave them a fixed price.
But you test it before you give someone a fixed price.
Okay, we're not doing all this. Somebody come up to you and tell you, I need this website, and I need for it to talk to me and do all this other stuff. And you've never done that before.
Correct.
And they want a price.
Correct.
and you give them a price.
I never give a price automatically. My answer is always, that sounds great, because what I want to do is make sure that I'm doing what you need me to do, and I'm going to deliver a product that both of us are proud of. So let me do some research on that, and then I will get back to you with a price range.
And that's the smart way to do it, honestly, because I've had projects that I have done where I give them the price up front, and it ended up taking me more time than what I thought it was going to take. And I'm like, God dang, God already gave them the price, they done paid me. So I can't go back and say, oh, this is actually what it costs. So I agree, you have to test it. You have to do your research first. You have to understand the amount of value you're bringing to that person, because if you don't, then you're going to get yourself burned in the end, especially as an entrepreneur, especially as a business owner.
Which goes back to your methods. You have to make sure that you have SOPs in place. For if someone is begging for a price, then that's not your client. That's not my client. You know what I mean?
What is SOP?
A standard operating procedure.
What is that?
What do you mean, what is it?
We got it's people rules. Don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's rules to business, right? So I need to make sure that as much as possible, because new things do come up, right? Everything is not going to go as planned. Like, that's just life. It is what it is. Life be life and all the time, right? But you should have standard operation procedures that your business runs on. You should have policies. You should have things in place where if someone asks me ABC, I know to do DEF. I have basic pricing already together. I know that it's going to take me this amount of time to do this. I'm going to set this amount of time per week for social media. I'm going to do this amount of time for consulting or talking. Those things should already be documented and already be put in place. So when you are confronted by your bougie clients that pay you all the money, you know where you can fit that extra time in or not, right?
I am an entrepreneur. I don't have time for no SOPs and no NOPs and no QRSs or anything else like that.
You have a business model problem.
I just say, well, you better hire somebody to build those out for you. You gonna be screwed, business owner. I ain't gonna lie, this is a little spicy too. Why y'all so spicy today? Jesus. Well, you know what? We finna get ready to wrap up this whole little spiciness. And it started with what numbers tell a story. We out. Welcome back to Mic'd Up Money, and I'm loving the spiciness of this episode. There's a lot of back and forth, even more than normal, which is okay. We're not gonna talk about that, but we're gonna go into our next segment where we're talking about AI for marketing and domination. So I got a statement, and I want to hear y'all opinions before I give my 2 cents, because I do got a lot of 2 cents on this statement. It's marketing is about being chosen, but AI makes sure that you are chosen. How do you feel about that?
Personally, I don't know that I necessarily agree with it. Marketing is about being chosen. It's about putting yourself out there and letting the right people see you. It's not about letting everybody see you. It's about putting yourself out there until the right people see you and choose you. AI can help with that, being that it can help you figure out when's the best time that your niche, that your people are available and looking and viewing, so that you can be put in front of those people. But it takes a lot more than an automated system to be chosen by your specific people.
Well, you know, I disagree.
Of course you do.
You see, because AI knows more about marketing than the average entrepreneur.
Not really, because who do you think is building AI? It's people. AI is just an accumulation of things that are on the internet, that people have placed on the internet. So it doesn't necessarily know more about your particular people. It's going off of consensus, a group that people have said that, and it might not work for your particular skill set. It is there to help you. It is there not to take over for you.
Yeah, I keep stressing this. AI is a tool.
Correct.
And you have to use it. Like, if you don't have your initial setup and you don't have how you want it to run, AI can run your business or you into the ground real quick, because it will go off on a tangent and it will start telling you stuff that you didn't even ask for.
And tech world will call that hallucinating. AI will hallucinate.
And plus, AI is new. Like, tell me what these folks was doing before we had an A or I. I mean, let's just be honest.
Okay. So let's go back to the basics.
Okay.
Most entrepreneurs don't know about marketing because they confuse it with advertising.
True.
Okay, and they don't know what makes them special. I used to do classes for the state, go around the room, ask them what makes you special. Mm-hmm. They tell me what they do. Mm-hmm. No, that's not what makes you special. You told me what you do, but what makes you special? Why should I buy from you?
Right.
AI goes through, if you get the right model and the right chat or whatever it's going to do, it's going to find out those answers. And it's going to help you.
AI cannot tell you why you are special. They can only tell you what segment that somebody looked at the most. That is not telling you why you're special. That might be why you're dumb. It might not be why you're special. It might be why you're dumb or you're exciting, but not why you're special.
The right AI would go back and look at the social proof, the customer comments, the demographics, and they would tell you, this is probably why you're special more than you know.
No, it'll tell you that is the highest rated views. That's what it's going to tell you. And you are assuming that that's why it makes you special. What you can do is, if you have the knowledge in your own brain, within your brains, you can then put in a prompt and ask AI for help to figure out why I'm special. I like to do A, B, C, and D on my job. I am good at this. People tell me that I know a lot about this. Can you give me results of what make me unique in my field? Boom. Now AI can give you some help. But it can't tell you why you're special based off of metrics.
I have to agree with that, because if you want a computer, which is AI, is basically accumulations of different people's answers, like she said, across the internet. If you want all these people to tell you why you're special, because to me, every human is created uniquely. Everybody 100%. Is different. You know, if you want a computer to say, "Oh, you're special because of this," and you don't have any background, then you must not be special at all. Because I can tell you, I'm special. You know what I'm saying?
No, I got 3 AI employees. I got Chat, Gemini, and Claude. And I use those jokers like NBA people. And they give me answers that normal people would not get, because I know what prompts to ask them. And I know when they BSing me.
I always efficient though, because I've seen some of the answers. I worked with you for almost a year on this, and I don't like some of them Gemini answers that he be spitting out. Nor do I like Chat all the time, even though Chat has helped me. God, you know, you're good with Chat sometimes, but Gemini is not always 100% there, because some AI programs are underdeveloped, and it's not gonna give you what you need or what you want.
That's why I got 3 employees.
I didn't say 3 models. You have 3 AI
No, they
models.
my employees.
You have 3 AI models. Now you can create AI employees. Now that is what you can do with AI technology, is create employees that do certain things and certain tasks within your business, but you still have to know the appropriate prompts to put in. That doesn't come from AI. You can't ask AI for an AI prompt. You can, but it's not going to be right, because you need something very specific. So you need to learn what it is that you want and then ask for it, just like you would a human being. If I'm talking to my employee, I'm not going to say, wait a minute, let me ask Google what to tell you what I want, right?
See, that's why I go to Chat and I ask it the question. Then I go to Gemini and I ask it the question. Then I go to Claude and ask it the question. They all going to come back with their different perspectives. And I get to choose which one is best for me.
But is it efficient?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You just wasted your time asking 3 different models, and then you're going to use your brain at the end to figure out which one was right?
No. So you understand. I already know that Chat hallucinates.
Right.
And Gemini, its problem is it won't get off of it. If I make a change, it stays on the first one. I had to tell it stop. And still, sometimes it will not stop. And Claude does a lot of my writing.
Yeah. They are wonderful tools, as she has said. They are wonderful tools, but they are not to replace your human thoughts.
Well, we have to disagree on that.
And we have another segment where it's just got real deep and spicy. And it's amazing, because we have 2 different perspectives. We have 2 people that are very successful in business. And I agree and I disagree with both of y'all. Let's just say that, because I ain't getting in the middle of it. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up this segment where we were talking about AI for marketing and domination. Welcome back to Mic'd Up Money, where we have our special guest, Leah Williamson. We have our profitability strategist, Ephraim Simmons, and I'm your very own efficiency expert, Jasmine Johnson. And we're coming to a close, unfortunately, but we do have one more topic to talk about, and that is Google. Google is not optional. Let's see why. So, this is a true or false question, okay? Google is where buying decisions are made. True or false?
True.
False.
Let's hear it. And fight.
No, it depends on your business model.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in business for over 35 years. Most of my business comes from word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, if you Google me, you won't see too much people saying about me because I don't have like an open business. I have a closed business. Pretty much, I go on referrals, and so I'm not dependent on Google for that.
Does that hurt your sales at all?
I have a lifestyle business.
Okay.
Meaning that I make enough money to sustain the lifestyle that I want, and I'm busy enough for me to be content with what I'm doing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, if I'm not open for the public, everybody's not my customer, and I don't want strange people calling me that I don't know, that's not from a referral, because I had to do a lot of screening.
Gotcha. Okay.
In my opinion, it's Google where buying decisions are made. I took that, I think, a little different from what you were, the perspective that you had, and it's why the reason why I say that is people go to Google to look everything up. If the people cannot find you on the internet, then you aren't real. And in people's brains, if I can't find you on the internet, you don't have a website that pops up, you don't have social media, you don't have a video, you don't have a listing, then I don't think you're legit. I think you are a scam. And if I can't see where someone else has already, because people are monkey see, monkey do, right? So if I can't already see where someone else has used your services and got the outcome that I'm looking for, then I'm not going to use you. So yes, I believe that Google is where buying decisions made. Now, should that be where it ends? Absolutely not. But you should always have presence everywhere where you have the opportunity to make money.
Well, see, exactly. You just proved my point. My business model is social proof. So if I have someone saying, hey, he's the best person ever, he solved my problem, bam, social proof
but
equals money.
I have to know somebody that already use your services. Everyone isn't going to know someone, right? I'm not saying that every person that on Google that reaches out to you is going to be your client, but I am saying that it is a tool that you can use to increase your sales, and also get your business in front of people that you might not already have contact with. Because I do a lot of referrals and a lot of by mouth as well. But you can Google me. Absolutely, Google Bill Williamson. But you can Google me, and I'm glad that you can, because you never know where you're going to get opportunities from.
Well, like I said, everybody has what they want to do for their business. Efficiency expert. What's your side of this story, since you want to try to remain neutral?
I believe that either can be efficient depending on your business model. So like you said, your word of mouth, and she is on Google, and it has been working for you, am I right?
Yes.
And it has been working for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you do what's best for your business model. Now, I do lean more towards the Google. I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to be neutral. It just doesn't happen sometimes, because I feel like we had an episode where we talked about the IRS and it's your business rule. If you didn't have a Google My Business page or anything like that set up, then they're not going to even consider your business to give out any type of loans, to build business credibility or anything like that. So how do you, Ephraim, conquer that problem on, if my business is real or not? If you got contacted by IRS, you got your, because you already set up, I know you are.
Yeah, they can find me, they can Google me and get all the information they want to have on me.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'm not trying to advertise to the masses, because I'm not really ready to do business with the masses. Just like Tanika said, she's not trying to have all those clients and customers.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically, the screening process on a good customer can be extensive.
Right, okay.
That's a lot of conversations before you figure out if they are your customer. And sometimes you just don't have time to do all that.
But if you have AI and automations, then they can go through the screening all before you even talk to them. You like AI, right? Did you ask Gemini if that was a good decision to not be on Google? What did it say?
No, I didn't say I wasn't on Google.
Okay.
What I said was, I don't want to have all these extra. I see, because if you're an introvert, You don't, you want to spend your time on your customers,
efficient,
not on people who might be your customer.
Okay.
You know, if you crazy, I don't need to have an hour or 2 hour conversation with you to figure out you're not my customer.
Absolutely.
And that's where I think the niche comes in, because you have to know what customers you're targeting. And yes, you on Google it can get out of hand, but that's only if you don't program it to where it's gonna filter out the people that you don't need. Like for the new business I'm gonna end up launching eventually, it's going to be specific towards the trades. Like I'm not going to be trying to talk to any type of cosmetologist or beautician or social media influencer. No, it's specifically towards the trades for the new business that I'm going to end up launching, because that's where my expertise are and that's the language that I understand.
Yeah, you got niche.
So,
Again, it's about your business model.
Well, you know, hey, you got to do what works for you, because I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to start changing. Because, like I said, I'm doing a whole lot more than with this posting and all this other stuff.
Of course.
That I never did before.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
I got you. Well, we have had a very feisty and good episode this week, and I want to end with Leah Williamson telling us about your class and what you do, and then we're going to move into Mike the Money, where you can find us all social platforms, and then we out.
Absolutely. So again, my name is Leah Williamson, brandedbyleah.com. I am a brand therapist. I specifically help 9-to-5ers who are interested in becoming entrepreneurs fulfill that dream through education, like courses and workbooks, as well as therapy sessions. So if you are in need of a brand therapist and want to talk to someone about getting started with your business, go to brandedbyleah.com.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this. We said a whole lot during this episode. Please go into the comment section and tell them downright. No, say Ephraim, Efrem, was right, so that they would know that I was right. And if you think I was wrong, just
keep it to yourself.
I want you to say I was wrong, but I want you to tell me why you think I was wrong. But go to Mic'd Up Money. That's MICDUPMONEY.com. That's our website, or you can go to all our social media platforms and look up for Mic'd Up Money, and you can see our next episode, and you can get some of our free tools.
That's a wrap for this week on Mic'd Up Money. Don't forget to grab your free tools at mic'dupmoney.com. Follow us at Mic'd Up Money on all social platforms, and keep taking your next right money move. Until next time, stay reset, stay ready, and stay mic'd up.
This podcast or broadcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal, health, tax, or professional advice. Always consult a licensed professional for specific advice related to your situation. Thank you.
So